Okay, work-life balance in real estate. Sean, dive into this for us.
Work-life balance. Brian, are you kidding me? There is no work-life balance in real estate. Hey, especially not in this market. No, but all joking aside, it's imperative and important that we as agents seek some semblance of work-life balance, especially in a crazy market like this. And so, what I mean by that is real estate transactions are hard anyway, and
Yep.
so if you have any other issues within that transaction, it just complicates and makes things that more stressful. And so you have to be aware and intentional about looking for ways to basically take time out for yourself and spend time with your loved ones. Because, right, for the most of us, we do this. We say we do it for our families, and then our families are the one that end up suffering the most because we're working so much. So it's like it's a paradox, but nevertheless, I've basically, been intentional. I'm not saying I've been perfect, but I have been intentional about having a work-life balance in real estate because real estate is hard. And so some of the things that I do to have work-life balance is I have some systems around my business. I have some quiet time around my business. I have some boundaries. Oh, that's with a capital B. Let me say that again. I have some boundaries because with agents and with clients, the expectation nowadays with so much connectivity, it's ridiculous. If a client is online and they see something at 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll text you and ask you about it, and they expect you to respond. And some agents do. Some agents sleep with the phone by their bed, and if it's alerted, they hop up. Been there, done that. I'm not doing it anymore. It's not a good thing for you. It's not a good thing for your family.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and so you have to be intentional about having good work and life balance. It's important.
Yeah, like what made you make the transition to more systems and stuff? Like how did you go about doing that?
Yeah, so one thing I ended up doing is I hired a business coach, and that was a game changer, a real estate business coach. And I'll back up a little bit because something else that helped me before I got a coach, I got a mentor. So that was a start. And there's a difference between a mentor and a coach. Like I won't explain all of it here, but the mentor was a start. So I had the mentor, and with the mentor, he basically told me, hey, you need to stop doing X, Y, Z and start doing A, B, C. And so he gave me the framework. And so once I did get with the coach basically gave me a game plan of how to do it. And so I basically kind of got out of the day-to-day of real estate, by understanding and putting boundaries around my business, and so that totally helped me.
Yeah, that's good. And I think sometimes if you're constantly, if you don't have hours in which you're not available, it's hard to kind of get certain things done because you're like constantly being pulled in different directions.
That's right.
For you said time blocking has really helped for you. Like how do you, can you go more into time blocking?
Yeah, so with time blocking, for instance, in the one thing I'll do, like in the morning, I wake up, about anywhere between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. And what I'll do is I'll exercise for about an hour, right? And during that time when I'm exercising, I'm actually just kind of meditating as well, just gathering my thoughts. And then while I'm doing that, I'm also praying, and just having a little bit of quiet time, meditating. And then, so that's from about 6. And then after that, I'm still just having quiet time to myself, really just gathering my thoughts. And so I don't touch my phone as far as like any business related things. I don't touch my phone until about 9:30 in the morning, right? One thing about real estate is this, which a lot of agents, we don't want to recognize it, but it's the truth. There are no real emergencies in real estate. Nobody's going to die. Nobody's going to really be harmed. Yeah, will a couple of people be pissed off if they don't get what they want when they want it? Yeah. But, what we do in real estate is not life or death. And so once we understand that and take some time out to ourselves and prioritize things, one thing I've learned, if everything's important, nothing's important, right? And so I have time blocks where during the day, I strategically put time blocks on my calendar. I'll block out an hour, just to have calls with friends and family members, right? Just to catch up. So when my calendar is blocked out, so if someone wants to make an appointment on my calendar, they see that it's not available. Obviously, they don't see what the appointment is. But for me, it's an appointment. It's an appointment with my family member, my friends, and people that I want to stay connected with. So something as simple as that can be powerful. It might sound silly, it might sound trivial, but it's huge because it gives me an opportunity to recharge, and it keeps me connected to the people that I love and care about. So something as simple as that, just blocking your calendar out. Every Friday, I have a block where I really just dig into some of the things I'm looking to do in my business, like a 2-hour time block doing that. And so it kind of relates back to something else that I understand and I believe in now. I can see agents now looking at like, yeah, right, how am I going to do that? But one thing that's important is sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. And so that's what the time blocks do. We put everything else, in our calendar. We put, showings and listing appointments and all that stuff. We just got to be strategic about it and stick to it. I'm not saying that everybody's going to be able to do large time blocks, but start out with 30 minutes at a time, doing something for yourself. And so that's how I do. I put the time blocks on my calendar and I try to commit to them. I'm not saying I'm 100%, but I'm very intentional about trying to commit to those time blocks.
Yeah, no, that's so good. Yeah, and the whole with the calendar and everything, like that's, you'd be surprised. A lot of agents don't, or not just agents, but people in general. Yeah, it's just a good practice to prioritize things that are important that need to get done. Love what you said though. If everything's important, then nothing's important. Yeah, it's like you have you have to prioritize. Yeah. So good.
Yeah. And back to your earlier question, I think I got a little sidetracked, but back to your earlier question, some things that have happened to me is I've been on family vacations or whatever, and I'm trying to close this high dollar deal, and I can't even enjoy time with my family. And I mean, that's happened numerous times. And so just things like that. I know all agents go through that. I get it. But the thing about it is there's always going to be another client, but you're not always going to have your family around and those moments that you can spend with them. So I just try to be intentional thinking about that, and I challenge other agents to do the same.
That's so good. And then is there anything else you do like to help prioritize for you for that work-life balance?
Yeah, and so one thing, like I said, I do, which I think that a lot of agents get caught up on, is have a set time in the morning, before your day gets started, where you can do something that's going to benefit you and connect you to the things that you love. And what I mean by that is don't pick up that phone first thing in the morning. Because once you pick it up and you, exactly, and I get it. I'm not talking about like if you need the outlet to do a little bit of social media and all that good stuff, that's cool, whatever. I'm saying that's okay, but don't pick up the phone calls. Turn your ringer off, and definitely don't read your emails as soon as you get up, because once you get into that inbox, it's a wrap. It's always something to do, and so just do that a little bit at a time. If you have to start at giving yourself 15 minutes to yourself when you kind of get up and get into the swing of things, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, just have a plan to not dig into your emails and so forth first thing in the morning. And so obviously you gotta maybe get, if you're sleeping to 9 o'clock, that's one thing, that's a whole nother issue, but if you're already getting up a little early, then don't jump into your emails right away, because you're definitely gonna see something that you need to work on. And even if you don't work on it right away, it's going to, yes, exactly. So
it's on your mind.
It's on your mind. And so that's one important thing I would say to do is step away from that email first thing in the morning. Don't touch that. That's been crucial. And another thing, like I said, is just remembering your why. Remembering why you're doing what you're doing and what you promised to yourself and those people maybe to that you would do to help them or whatever. Say you got a family member that you say, hey, I'm gonna spend one time, I'll be at your let's just say kids, like, hey, I'm gonna make sure I'm at your soccer games, I'm gonna make sure I'm paying attention and all that good stuff. Well, you have to be present. And sometimes when you in those real estate transactions and all that, you're not present. And so, but if you manage your time strategically, you can be present with your loved ones when you're with your loved ones. I mean, I've seen it a number of times before, and I'm guilty of it. You can be sitting at dinner with your relatives, and you and that person both got the phones down like this, like, you're supposed to be talking to each other, but yet we're both there on the phone. Yeah. And so I think that if we haven't learned anything throughout this 2020 with this COVID-19, love your people while they're here and give them their flowers while they're here and enjoy every minute, and stop worrying about everything that's on that phone, because those things that are on the phone and people that are on the phone are not the ones that are really going to be that important to you. So I think that most people can relate to what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's so good. All right, guys. Well, don't look at email in the morning. First thing, try step one, and time block and prioritize the things that are super important.
That's right.